I said, go for it. So I can sit back and enjoy it, Dawn. I didn't deserve the introduction that you gave me, but thank you. I think we're going to start with Missy, I'm pretty sure, and she's going to do a product overview, and then we're going to jump to Dawn. Both of these ladies, like I said, are silver. They both are building great teams. Missy wanted to pick a product and talk to you guys about that, and Dawn's been doing some really crazy, cool, outside of the box thinking as far as marketing yourselves and your business. And she had several ideas actually that she wanted to do. And I was really proud of her because she came up with a lot of stuff, and we had to kind of go, okay, we only have so much time. And we decided we would give you guys some good brainstorming kind of ideas for how to market your business, and then maybe come back in the future and do a few other things. But so anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Missy. I'm going to mute myself, and then Missy, if you'll unmute yourself, and then we'll get you on the screen. So let me go. I'm going to hit mute. Okay, we're unmuted, right? Good. You can hear me?
No.
No? Can you hear me? Okay, I think we're on. Okay. Mike is doing this with me tonight, and say hi.
Hi.
And I normally don't have notes as much as I do tonight, and I speak from what's on my mind, but being a product overview, I wanted to have my thoughts together and not miss anything. So we chose Xfactor. And part of the reason we chose, or the main reason we chose Xfactor, is because as much as we love all of the other products and we know what the other products can do, it is our favorite family product, not just for us, but also for our customers, and as well as for promoting our business and growing our business. And the reason for that is this is a product that is for the masses. And we know as ambassadors that every product is for the masses, and everyone should be taking Plexus Slim and ProBio and all of those things, but not everyone knows that until they become more educated. Even in something that seems as common to us as a probiotic. But so many families out there are already giving their children a multivitamin, already taking a multivitamin. And I think it's part of our heart, Xfactor, because it's really the reason we stepped into Plexus and we started the journey with Plexus when Lisa approached us, is we felt like, okay, these products aren't for us. We don't know anything about them. It's not something we're doing already. We're healthy. We're fine. We eat healthy. We don't need these. And then when we heard multivitamin, like our, antennas popped up and, well, wait a minute, is this better than what we're doing? We're already taking what we thought was the top of the line. And we were spending, and I actually priced it out tonight, and I kind of sat back and choked a little bit. We were spending near $200 a month for all 5 of us to take a multivitamin. So right then and there, when first thing I did was look at the pricing, which wasn't my only thing, but for me it was, especially if it's less expensive, definitely look at this. So we looked at it, we broke down all of the ingredients, all of the key things in it, but some of the things that we want to talk about that Mike's going to help me with tonight are the things that really stood out to us that we talk to our customers about, especially those customers that say, well, I don't need to lose weight, or why do I need a probiotic? And it's such a simple, and not in these exact words, but it's such a simple thing to say, are you taking a multivitamin? Do you give your children a multivitamin? Well, yes. Well, let me tell you about our multivitamin. And the first thing to me that is just amazing is the Plexus's patented aloe blend, because I have a sister-in-law that has Lyme's, and so I had heard of taking aloe as a supplement, but even when I told her about it, she said, it's in the multivitamin, you don't take it separately. So to people that are really into health and healing their bodies, do know about aloe, but to hear that it's already in the multivitamin, and of course, as most of us know, the aloe, going back to notes. As we know, the aloe increases the absorption up to 300%, and focusing on the vitamin E and the vitamin C for the absorption. Go ahead, Michael.
So the vitamin C obviously is the crazy antioxidant that everybody loves. Everyone gets sick. Okay, start taking vitamin C. Well, the idea behind having a good multivitamin, having a balanced multivitamin, is that you don't get to the point that you start having to super load on vitamin C, and also vitamin E. One of the components for the absorption, as Missy mentioned, is that I'm the researcher of the house, and so I went through all the different aspects of. I've never heard of aloe being in a multivitamin or anything else for that matter, taken orally, that is, until I started doing the research. And I can't tell you how many articles I pulled up from, again, as a researcher, I go back to the NIH and I go back to the different, peer-reviewed articles, and they have to have everything. And they all came back saying that aloe showed a significant increase in the reabsorption, especially for the E, which is one of the more important things. And it also helps to slow the absorption, which is good, because then it remains in the plasma longer as it goes through the body. So since it's not broken down as easily, or as quickly, I should say. So being absorbed at a higher percentage and then remaining in the body longer just potentiates its thumbs up, all of its good things. Let's see, what else do we talk about? The New Zealand blackcurrant extract is something that I also started looking into, because you have the acai, I can't even say it right, acai berry, whatever it is, and the different pomegranates and things like that. Well, the New Zealand blackcurrant extract does have one of the highest antioxidant levels, and the antioxidant that's in it is the anthocyanin, and that's basically like a bioflavonoid. It's from the flavonoid complex. So when you look at the, I believe it's the probiotic has bioflavonoid. Is it the probiotic or is it the BioCleanse? One of the two. But bioflavonoids as a whole are extremely important. And I don't know how much time I have, so please just throw up a hand if you have like 30 seconds or something left, because I'll talk all night. So the great thing about that is that it also
antioxidants.
Yeah, so the antioxidants. You guys know what antioxidants are. I'm not going to go into crazy with that. It also contains the folic acid, and for those folks that are doing the, I see you. Sorry. So the folks that are taking this on the Plexus and Pregnant page, it does have the at least the minimum for a number of the different aspects of for the folic acid, as well as the B vitamins and the C and the E. The things that you do need to make up for that side of it would be things like the calcium and the vitamin D, which typically are gained more from the diet. But overall, again, when we're looking at it as a family product, we look at it for the adults and for the kids, and also for the adults expecting kids, which is another big push for a seller for us.
The other thing about the New Zealand blackcurrant that we talk about quite often, especially with customers that mention iron, is that the New Zealand blackcurrant has a natural iron in it. It has the good amounts of the mineral iron in it, and it has 100 grams of the currant berries. The 100 grams of the currant berries contain about 20% of the daily recommended levels of iron. And I haven't personally experienced this or had a customer, but I have read testimonies on people that have said that they have customers that have been iron deficient and had to take iron supplements. And since starting the Xfactor, they no longer have to do that. And to me, that's just amazing that it's not an added, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not added in there, but it's in the New Zealand blackcurrant. So the iron is something that we always point out. And then the fact that, going back to the antioxidants, that the benefits of them, a lot of people hear that word and think it's wonderful and great, but antioxidants reduce inflammation, lower stress, increase mental alertness, promote healthy immune systems, as we know, and reduce muscle fatigue. And then going into the iron, I'm sorry, not the iron. The folic acid Michael was talking about also helps iron function properly in your body. So again, how we always talk about, there's amazing ingredients and vitamins in our supplements, but it's not just what's in them, it's how they're formulated that is just so awesome. So the fact that the folic acid works with the New Zealand blackcurrant and the iron helps, the folic acid helps the iron to function properly in your body, aids in formation of red blood cells, and it's essential for human growth and development, which is why folic acid is so important, as Michael mentioned, in pregnancy, and why we hear a lot about it. Stop me if I'm missing something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I read a article in, I'm going to guess, I think it was Time magazine, and don't hold it against me if you don't like Time, but they did a really good job, because when they were looking at the centennials, everyone who lives to that 100-year time frame or greater, the majority of those are in really the continent of Asia. So they did. They went and looked at their diets and looked at what they're consuming and the reasons why. And it's not because they have low cholesterol. It's not because they don't eat, because they eat lots of carrots and green leafy vegetables. It's partially that, but a lot of it comes back to inflammation. And so controlling inflammation promotes longevity. And when you look at any of those centennials, as they refer to them in the article, they said that by reducing inflammation, by getting up and going, meaning they were the ones that were farming, they were out growing their own foods, and that's fantastic, but they were working. And a lot of us, especially in America, our jobs involve sitting down and doing something at a desk. And that's not really good for your bodies, which is why the getting up and moving is extremely helpful. And mitigating inflammation any way you can with the pink drink, with the multivitamin, with the probiotic, and the probiotic. I'm saying that 3 times because that is extremely important. Not having proper gut health that's where a lot of our inflammation in our body comes from. And if we have inflammation in our gut, we're not going to absorb things properly. We're not going to metabolize and break food down appropriately. And we can do a whole nother call. I can talk about that for hours because I love it. I know it sounds crazy. I love the gut. But so anyway, controlling inflammation and mitigating that whole side of things is extremely important. And having the New Zealand blackcurrant extract, the right vitamin C's and the vitamin E, and then having them regenerate themselves and stay in the system longer, it just promotes for reduced inflammation. And all those things are things that we talk about with folks, more Missy than myself, because I've probably talked for 7 minutes so far. So that'd be a very brief introduction to my life. So I apologize for rambling.
Okay. And the last thing and again, the multivitamin the Xfactor has amazing, many amazing things in it. The last thing that I like to focus on, or that stood out for us that I think is very important, is the high B vitamins in it. And I know we're not supposed to, I'm saying that we're not supposed to promote any of the supplements to children under the age of 18, except the Xfactor chewable. I will tell you, in our family, our 6 and 7-year-old can swallow capsules. We give them the Xfactor capsules. And the reason we do that is because I don't know if you've ever compared the chewables to the capsules. They're the exact same product with the exception of the aloe and the B vitamins. And the aloe to us was a no-brainer. If we can get the aloe in them, especially in the multivitamin, we want them to have that. And we've already talked about, why that's so important.
Sorry, there's a note.
Oh, do you give them 1 or 2? We give them 1. And that's the other thing. And I don't, the chewables, it's the same thing. It's the same dosage on the chewables and the capsules. So the chewables, it says, take 2, but children take 1. And it's the exact same for the capsules. It says 2 for adults. Obviously doesn't give a dosage for the children, but we do 1 for each child. So 1 bottle lasts a month between the 2 of them. So the aloe was something that we said, if we can get the aloe in them, why would we give them a chewable? But even more than that, with the high B vitamins, something that we learned through Cortland's diagnosis with ADHD and autism specifically, typically when you're treating them in a biomedical way, a lot of supplements are added and blood tests are done to see what they're absorbing, what they're metabolizing, and what they're not. And B vitamins typically come back very, very low. And I think I mentioned in the call with Cortland that, vitamin B shots and things like that are all a part of the regimen. And with the high B vitamins, there was no, to me, they're water soluble. So it wasn't hurting them by giving them those, not to mention Cortland needed a high dose of them. The other thing with B vitamins that I've learned through myself and challenges I've had, B vitamins elevate moods, they boost metabolism, which therefore increases weight loss. So B vitamins are really, especially depression, a lot of times B vitamins with the 5-HTP are recommended. So those things in the capsule, again, not to say that I don't like, I shouldn't say don't like, but not to say that, Anakin, our youngest, takes the chewable. But if our children can swallow the capsule, for those reasons alone, we definitely give them the capsule, and love the fact that those high B vitamins are in such high dosages in there. And something else that I have learned partly through Cortland's recovery and researching in that is B vitamins, not just for autism and ADHD, which again, I mentioned Cortland has a gene mutation that makes it hard to metabolize vitamin Bs anyways, but vitamin Bs are one of the most difficult vitamin to absorb for anyone. And I forget where I read that recently. We looked at that and read that, that it's an extremely hard vitamin to metabolize and increase, which is why you see such high dosages of it. And even in the multivitamin we were taking previously that we thought was the best of the best, it didn't come close to the amount of vitamin B in it. So, and then again, going back to the aloe and helping the absorption. So those things alone are why we love the Xfactor, why it's not always the first product that we introduce someone to with Plexus, but it's always one that's on the back of my mind that is kind of that backup if I need, because someone says, well, it's not really for me. Well, you're taking a multivitamin. So it's our go-to.
Something as an objection that I have come across in conversation was, well, if you have B6 or B12 because we have B vitamins are in a number of different products. At what point are you going to become toxic? And yes, they are water soluble. You can become toxic on B vitamins, but what you have to do is take the dose that's in the Xfactor and move the decimal over one. So it's like 10 times or 100 times in some cases the actual dosage that's provided. And if you take all the products as they're supposed to be taken, obviously, you'd still not even come close to making it to half of what you need to do to become toxic. Most of them, that is, say, like 10 milligrams, you need to take 200 milligrams. And then some people actually get prescribed those B vitamins, like Missy was saying, as part of a regimen at the crazy high doses. But there's nothing that we come close to in touching anything near a toxic level in any of our products, even if you combine the products. And then there was a question from Amy about when's the best time to take it with the Slim or 1 hour from BioCleanse. We've been kind of fiddling around with it a little bit for the most part. I've been taking it in the morning, first thing when I leave for school. So I'll take my Slim and I'll take my Xfactor along with it. As far as taking it with BioCleanse, I haven't done a whole lot of looking into that, since BioCleanse is not it's not a laxative, since it helps to promote the oxygenation and a little bit of movement, natural movement. I don't see it being a negative if you take it at the same time as the BioCleanse. At the same time, we also were just discussing in our family, should we take it in the evenings before? Oh, that was the Mega X. That was Mega X. So for the most part, as long as you're taking it, it's good.
I take it in the morning because I'm a night owl and I don't need any more reason to stay up later than I already do. And I have read that the Xfactor also helps increase natural energy. So I stay away from anything that's going to give me any extra energy past 3 o'clock. So for me, it makes sense. I take it with the Slim in the morning. It's easy. And I also try to simplify what I'm taking when, because then I'm more likely to remember to take it. So I typically stick with night, morning, night, and then the BioCleanse. And I know Mike said he doesn't see a negative in taking it with the BioCleanse. I've heard mixed reviews on taking things with the BioCleanse. Some people do it and it works great for them. For me, I try to keep the BioCleanse alone and let it do its thing by itself. Not to say it. I wouldn't take it with something if I forgot, but.
And I think in the BioCleanse, it has the B6, which helps to activate that crystal lattice situation to release the oxygenation process. I think that was what it was. But again, I'm going off the top of my head. So I don't see any issues with that.
Okay, I'm going to hit the questions real quick. Good night, almost done it. Do our kids take Slim? Yes. All 3 of our children take Slim. Our 7-year-old takes half of a pack every morning mixed with coconut milk because he will not take it with water. And our 3 and 6-year-old share the other half of the packet. Really, I was just going to give it to the 6-year-old, but the 3-year-old, he has to have it too. Plus it's pink and that's his favorite color. So we're kind of doomed. So they share the other half of the packet. And can you share that B12 statement in writing? My non-medical brain. Oh, you're not alone, Daphne. Yeah, I need everything in writing from him. So yes, he will do that. You know about the kids. Anything else? Nope. I think that was everything. So,
and I'll send that to you once we move on to. So I don't want to take up someone else's time typing. So
that's all.
Yep. Kai.
Hold it up.
Aussie.
Oh, wow. We were off.
Wow. I could not say Aussie. All right, Kai. I'm going to say Kai just to annoy everybody now, though. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to mute him.
What? She wishes she had that feature at home. I'm telling you right now.
Love you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, babe.
Yep.
All right.
I think you just click. Oh.
You get it? You get it? Okay. You guys are awesome. Do you guys know how lucky I am to have this team? I mean, and you've only seen like one of my team. I'm so, oh my God, I was in tears. I was so proud of you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Dawn, you ready? Okay. I'm going to unmute myself and you guys enjoy Dawn.
Oh, because I hit the button in the wrong place. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Yes. Hopefully my husband can't. He's upstairs asleep. So hopefully I'm loud enough, but not too loud to wake him up. He had a long day. So hi, everyone. This is exciting. My first attempt at chatting with a bunch of people about Plexus, other than the few things that I've done that I will talk about. For whoever chatted that they are the non-medical brained person, I am with you. I am learning every single day throughout the day as I go about this product, this company, these products, all of the medicalness behind them. So it's been really cool for me. And that's been more intimidating for me than speaking in front of people. My hobby, one of my hobbies, my biggest hobby, is that I like to perform on stage. So I actually like to stand in front of people and do comedies and make people laugh, which is really strange because I'm also a CPA. So none of that connects with understanding the medical world of Plexus and all these amazing products. So it's been really cool to learn about it. Because I live in an area that I've shared this a couple times, I have several times reached out for other ambassadors up in Maryland. Lisa came from Maryland. Her and I went to high school together. So that's our connection. But I'm not in that area. I haven't been able to attend events yet. And every time I've tried to reach out for people in the area that would do events or that I could connect with, it's crickets every time. So because I do a lot of networking in my accounting business, I've been trying to be creative in ways that I could find ways to get Plexus out to people around here, especially without having that medical background. I was a bit intimidated. So one of the first things that I did was, in addition to just sharing, on Facebook, my experiences, was I made up the term of that I was going to do a sample slam, because I just thought it sounded like a cool name and I didn't really know what else to do with it. I had actually asked Dawn early on if doing samples was a good idea for the business, and kind of a mixed bag on that, some yes, some no. But I just decided I would give it a try because I just really wasn't ready to do an event by myself, having not seen one yet or sharing it with anyone. So what I did was I put out on Facebook that I was going to offer samples to the first 10 people that expressed interest in it. Chose 10 just because it seemed like if I made it exciting, like time impressive, that might make people sign up quicker. Worked really well. I made up little samples and I put a brochure. You can probably see a little bit. There's my little sample slam, and there's my little thing of Slim and my business card and a brochure. Paid my stepdaughter 50 cents to tie it together in a bow with a hole punch. So that's how fancy that worked. Anyway, so I think the first one that I did, I think I got 7 responses, which I was really excited about. All I did in follow-up was had them PM me an address, and I sent them the sample. I sent them a little letter about what Plexus is about, what brought me to it. encouraging them, obviously, that in a day you're probably not going to see a change in your energy, although some people do. You're probably not going to see those changes, but just to get a taste for it, literally a taste for what it tastes like, and also what that routine would be on a daily basis. So the accountant in me, of course, had to come up how much it costs to do a sample so that it would make sense to me to justify doing it. So between 71 cents to mail the thing and the envelope and brochures and whatnot, it costs about $4.75 per sample to get one out to a potential customer. I've done one a month so I did July, August, and September, getting ready to do one later this week. I sent out 18 samples. That turned into 6 customers. So I think 33% is a pretty good rate for that. I think it sounded like it was to me, because somewhere I read like 10% would be good. Obviously, the goal would be for preferred. I so far had 1 preferred. I had 5 signed up at retail, but still, I thought that was good. And I've also had a lot of conversations back and forth with people being interested, asking more questions. So they're kind of warm, they may turn into customers for me. And I had some that said no, which is fine too. So in all, I did end up coming ahead in terms of how much commission I made based on the cost of those samples and those that converted into customers, whether they were retail or preferred. So for those of you that aren't doing it, maybe it's something worth a try. Some of you probably saw what I did out there and would have seen me consistently doing that. So anyway, that would be something to keep in mind. Based on, this is the second idea that I had come up with. I saw Stephanie's Yoga on the Beach day that was done, I don't know, a month or 2 months ago. I thought it was really cool. I was really bummed that I wasn't in Virginia Beach to be able to attend it. And I don't live anywhere near the water and don't know anyone yet connected enough in yoga. So I decided to start a Plexus Power Walk. The idea being we would meet at an exercise or walking trail, and really the same idea. It wasn't a no sales pitch. It was just sharing Plexus. I brought sample slims and water bottles and just invited. I did a Facebook event for that and just passed it out, said this stuff's amazing. You've been seeing me post about it. Here it is. Let's walk. Very informal. I only had, or I shouldn't say only, I had 4 people that came. 2 of them were actually customers and 2 of them were people that were interested. It ended up being a really cool 2-mile walk because the people that were customers were sharing their experiences with the other 2. Nobody knew each other, which was really cool too. So I think, there were actually a couple of friendships that formed that day as well. So I found that, I thought that was successful, though I would have liked for it to have been more. I definitely got a lot of interest in doing another one, people that couldn't attend for different reasons. I actually scheduled one for this past Saturday, and then it was terrible weather, so that didn't happen. But I am going to try and do that again. For those of you that are on Striving for Silver, the page Striving for Silver, Darla Ruggiero, for lack of not knowing how to pronounce her name, her team and another team, I think, saw that I did that, got really excited about that, and they've since started doing the same things. And I was just chatting with her today, and they've had a lot of success with it, a good turnout. So anyway, just always looking for creative ways to do things, since, to be honest, I'm just not courageous enough to do an event by myself yet, and I'm just going to be honest. What else on that? Yes, so that pretty much summed that up. Crazy, this is a sidebar, but this morning I was running for my business, for my accounting business, and went to a bagel shop, and there was a whole new section that they had built on the side of this little restaurant, and it was empty. And I looked over and I was like, so I wonder if perhaps maybe a morning event is something that I could do, and maybe we could call it Plexus for breakfast, or I don't know, something else creative, which I didn't think of the wording yet. But the idea being, start your day with Slim before you go to work. So that would mean that I'd have to get up super early, which typically I don't do, but I would for this. Doing it in a town, Bel Air, which is like a small growing town near us. before people started their day. You know, come and have coffee and talk about Slim. Here's some Slim. You know, maybe it'll give you some energy for the day, who knows, but just trying to more encourage people before they even start their day that they might want to try that. So I will be doing that, and I have a feeling that might just be my first event, because I thought it was kind of cool. I'm not going to talk about that. What time is it? Okay. The last one that I wanted to bring up, have any of you heard of meetup.com? Lisa thought it was a dating site. It's not a dating site. I can laugh about that because everybody's laughing, because I actually met my husband on Match.com. So I get the last laugh here, folks. After 20 years of being single, Match.com brought us together. So that's how that rolls. Anyway, meetup.com is it's a site where you can look for people who are interested in something that you're interested in. If you haven't looked at it, you really need to check it out. I actually originally signed or looked at it. I was going to be traveling with my husband in another state, and for my accounting business, I was trying to find a way if I could connect with some people that might need my services while I was with him. It's a really cool site. I was looking this evening actually. I look at it regularly. There are sections when you go on it, for those of you that haven't used it, when you go on meetup.com, you just put in your area of interest. You don't even have to do that. You can just click search and it comes up with categories. So there's a health and wellness category, and it'll say within 25 miles of your town, here's all the meetup groups that meet on a regular basis and when they meet. And oh my gosh, I have 16 people chatting. I'm so sorry. I'm now realizing I should be answering questions. Sorry. I'll look at those in a sec. But anyway, I found some that were really cool. I found one, I'm near Pennsylvania where I live in Maryland. There's one called Central PA Holistic Network. When I looked at that, it was like screaming plexus at me. I'm comfortable talking around people I don't know. I could talk to a tree. You've probably figured that out, seeing how much time I've already talked. But anyway, finding a group that has a similar interest in what you're talking about. You know, you could find, it could be a mom's group, maybe, you know, for some new moms that are looking for extra energy with the kids. I'm kind of past that. My kids are out of college, so that is not an area that I'm connected to anymore. Not to say that I couldn't speak to them, but because I certainly could. Maybe it's business women. Maybe it's which is an area that I'm very obviously connected to in my other business. Speaking to women who are stressed out because they're just busy. They're stressed out in their days. They can't get to their families. They need extra energy. I'm a CPA, so we understand the concept of working crazy, insane hours a lot of times during the year. I found Maryland Healthy Living and Advocacy here. There's just a ton. So definitely check out that site and put your Plexus shirt on and take your samples and take your business cards, whatever, and just go and talk to those people, because people want what we have. They definitely do. I see that more and more, and it's been really encouraging for me in that aspect. So that's what I have. I'm really sorry I didn't look at all these questions. So how do I do this? I should unmute Dawn so she can help me. Okay, here we go. $4.75 per sample. That was by the accountant in me, adding the cost of envelopes, the cost of postage, which is 71 cents to mail them, which are like the little 5x7 envelopes, averaging the cost of flyers, and the cost of Slim, which at our price is around $2.20 or something per, if we look at our pricing for wholesale. And so that's how I rounded to $4.75. So thank you, Stephanie. Well, I'm trying to be just like you and doing a yoga event, so I'll come up with something. So, and yes, the Power Walk idea, which has been received well. And the other thing, I mentioned Darla earlier. Again, if you're not on Striving for Silver, that's just a site for those trying to get to silver and then beyond. She has really got some creative ideas. I'm not even sure, I don't even know what team she's on. I never really asked her that, but like she did a bridal event and just showed, there were pictures of what she did on it. She got the people that came to her booth to actually, she started a Facebook page from that event where she was doing like giveaways, and I think they even did a Zoom call at the end of that too. And it just was so creative, and just seeing what she did at her booth just was really inspiring. It was adorable, and definitely something I would have wanted to attend. Well, I got married 2 years ago, so, but nonetheless, it'd have been really neat to see. So just be creative and come up with new ways, and I'll keep trying to learn all the medical stuff. So anyway, that's me. So what do I do now? Do I mute myself?
That was great. Yes. No, you can stay talking. It looks like the rest of it was everybody just thought your ideas were pretty awesome.
Okay, good.
Loving the power walk. That's an easy thing to implement, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Lake, and let's walk, and I love it. What's even better, get friendships out of it.
Yeah, we have a state park right near us, and there's a king and queen seat, which is a rock climb. I have taken my dogs there before, and that's what I attempted to do on the 3rd, and actually invited people to bring their dogs too, so they could bring the dogs if they wanted. And a lot of interest, but the rain just didn't allow it to happen. So we'll try it again.
And sometimes just consistency. People say, "Oh, you plan it for once. Oh, I wish I could do that." But if they see you and say, "Okay, every first Saturday, we're going to do it," on their calendars and plan for it. So it's a building thing. That's really great. That was wonderful. And I didn't get to tell the Sachons how awesome they were either. That was really, I have pages of notes. I love it when I learn new stuff, y'all. And yes, and Dawn, you asked me about, we are going to do an opportunity event on the 16th.
Okay, great.
I should have the graphic tomorrow to be able to share. So while we're at the leaders retreat, which I think is it's kind of crazy. I'm actually going to do an opportunity meeting in a sea of Plexus ambassadors. So that should be interesting to see how that rolls. But we have some really, really great Maryland team members. So it's going to be fun. So we're going to have a good time. Okay. Lisa, did you want to wrap it up before I get into back office stuff? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, I don't want to take any more time, except I can so proud of you guys, and I love you so much. And I looked while we were doing this, and there's like 8 people from our team. I'm so proud of you guys for logging on, and I hope you guys learned a lot. I know I did. And thank you, Dawn, for giving us this opportunity. I either am a great leader and handed it off, or I really suck, because when you said my team, I went, I got this. And they did. They totally had it. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you so much. So
yes, you definitely have awesome people. So that's so great. I'm gonna she threatened us. That's funny. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop the recording. Okay, bye-bye recording people.